Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's more like me. Welcome back, isn't it? I'm sorry I'm so absentee at the moment. As many of you know, I have a lot going on in my life right now that I'm dealing with. But I wanted to come on and do a little bit of diamond painting on this painting from GBFKE that they sent me. They were kind enough to send me to review. And this is a full crystal. It is Labrador. Rainbow Labrador is what I call it. Rainbow puppy. Anyway. So I've gotten... Sorry for all the background noise. I have you next to an open window so we can have some beautiful fresh air before it gets up into the 90s today. Yeah. Already. It's insane. Anyway, so I thought that we would place some diamonds today before I sit down and just work on stitching. There was something on my canvas. I'm glad I got it. But I have been doing a little bit of diamond painting, you know, as much as I possibly can focus to do it. Let's see, what else have I been up to? A little bit of coloring. I have an idea for a drawing that I'm trying to figure out a potential problem with because I don't draw humans. It's just, I think because I don't enjoy it, they don't work out so well. I've only ever successfully done one, and it was really beautiful, but it had some significant meaning to it for me. So I'm trying to decide how to do an idea that's in my head to honor my babies in heaven. So we will see how that goes. I have to have a day where my hand is cooperating because lately I'm having problems with the arthritis through right here. Oh my goodness, the pain and swelling is ridiculous. Every time I pick up a pencil, it's bad. Even though I'm not applying any grip to it or anything like any pressure, you know, just like my diamond painting. I barely hold the pen for my diamond painting, and I barely hold my pencils. But I may be applying more pressure than I realize because, you know, we do that when our minds are busy or we're under a lot of stress. So I have missed you guys so much. I just am having a difficult time wanting to talk to anybody directly. I think because I don't want right now to discuss the subjects that just end in me crying. Then I can't see anything and I get a headache. So, no fun. Just saying, no fun. But I will resume lives again soon. At the moment, I can give you an occasional video and hope that that will be sufficient and satisfactory for everybody. So I really do hope that, you know, this will make everyone happy and let you know that I'm not running away. I have not given up. Life is, it sometimes throws you some curveballs, you know, and you have to deal with those before you can do your normal daily activities. But we will be back in full force, hopefully soon, but at some point. I have been stitching quite a bit. I'm a very long time, pretty advanced. I've never met a cross stitch that I can't do, or a needlepoint, but I've always done counted cross stitch as my preference. And recently, a friend of mine, Natalia, whose channel is Lovecraft Forever, she has been showcasing more and more printed cross stitches. Girl, it cost me money. I'm giggling at you, believe me, I'm laughing. Didn't really have money to spend, but I needed some things to occupy my mind and that I didn't have to think too heavily about. And stitching is very much second nature for me. So if I don't have to try to count the pattern, then I can do it. No problem. I'm not used to the really stiff fabric. It's harder to get the needle through, but I am enjoying it, and I selected some pieces that are very meaningful at this point in my life. So, yeah, that's, I think, what I needed to do for a little while. So please forgive me if you're not getting a ton of diamond painting, coloring, or drawing at the moment. You will get some. I will. But I had to start somewhere, and I decided that working on this diamond painting was a good place to start bringing myself back to my comfort zone in filming. It's just kind of hard to find subjects to talk about that aren't sad right now. Is really what it comes down to. And I'm very much trying to find laughter and joy, because that's what she would want. That's what all three of them would want very much for Mommy. So that's what I'm trying to do. Oh my goodness, folks. Let me tell you about aging. Aging, not fun. I have never, ever had high cholesterol in my life. And right now, well, as of my last blood test, my cholesterol was slightly elevated, and my vitamin D was nearly non-existent. Now, that I can attribute to one of my medications says I'm not supposed to go in direct sunlight. So, because of the pandemic, I was really, really staying inside. I still am, for the most part, but I have one of my vaccinations. My second one is scheduled for the 20th of this month. So I'm actually pretty excited. The side effects are not, the funnest for me. It makes me feel like I've got an icky cold, but, and the sore arm, oh my goodness. But, it's worth it to me. It is. So my choice is to be vaccinated because of my health, and my son has an autoimmune disorder, and, I just, new grandbaby coming. My last grandbaby, as far as I know, is due just after my birthday in June. I keep hoping she'll come on my birthday. My daughter's laughing at me about it. But I am. And of course, I've got my 11-month-old grandson and my 7-year-old grandson. So, I know they say that there are not many cases in children or infants, but yet they do exist. So, my daughter cannot be vaccinated right now because she's pregnant and will then be nursing. So, until all of that is done, she cannot be vaccinated. My other daughter, I don't know if she chose to be vaccinated yet. I've not spoken with her, but her age category was not open. And come April 19th, anybody over the age of 18 will be able to be vaccinated. So I'm super excited that my two older children can get vaccinated. That's a big thing for me right now. Just protect my family, And if you're somebody that chooses to avoid the vaccine, no judgment, folks, no judgment. That's okay. For you. I'm very cautious. I would love to see this pandemic die. So, to me, the only way that I can do that is to have the vaccination. So I was very anxious for when I would be allowed. And my doctor worked some magic to make sure that that came rather, as quickly as possible for me. She knew how I felt about it. Anyway, so yeah, the blood test results meant that she's sending me to a registered dietitian, which I'm laughing about because, being a nurse, although I'm retired from working as a nurse, I still have access to resources, and I know a lot of people, when they come up with high cholesterol, they don't stick to an altered diet. In fact, they usually don't even bother with it. I, however, realized from looking it up that there is a crossover between my fibromyalgia diet and the cholesterol reduction diet. So, the funny thing is, I just needed to add some fruits. To me, I was like, really? That's the... yeah, I haven't been eating much fruit in the last year. So, that explained it all. I just kind of had to shake my head at myself because, normally I would have been eating melons and all of that, but I hadn't been. I just hadn't had a taste for them, and I like to be able to go pick out my own fruit, and I couldn't do that, so I just kind of blew it off. Didn't do what I should have done. So, there we are. So, I've been eating fruit every morning, and I am feeling better. My stomach is feeling better too, which is good. If nothing else, I'm giving myself nutrients that I was lacking in. I've always been big on fruits and vegetables, so for me to not be eating them is pretty unusual. But I've never been one that I felt like I had to eat some every single day. Well, right now I do. So, my boys, because Marcos is back home again, so my boys are being amazing about making sure that when they do some cooking, they avoid the starches in my food. Anything that is rich in cholesterol, they'll set my food aside and then add their ingredients that I really shouldn't be eating. And they're being super good about sticking with the stuff to my fibro diet right now. So I'm very thankful that, they're bothering to do that, because for a while there, nobody really cared about the fibro diet except me, and I just couldn't get any help to have the things that I needed for it, and it was rather annoying. So I ended up in a lot of pain, and I have gained a very significant amount of weight that I'm super unhappy about, and that's part of why the doctor recommended me to a dietitian, is because I complained about my weight. She said it would go away, and I'm like, I don't care. I want it gone now. So what do I do? So getting on the fiber and cholesterol diet, that should help me to eliminate it. I can't be active. So, exercise is not an option because of my lungs, and so there we are. But the other day I did walk up to the mailbox and back. I had to stop about 4 times each way for just a moment to catch my breath, but I did it, and it's a start. Sorry, coffee. It's just after 6 a.m. here, so it's easier for me to film early in the morning for all of you, and that was part of why I hadn't been filming, is that there was a lot of noise around me early in the mornings, but that has changed as well, except on weekends. So yeah, now I can try to get back to doing things for you guys instead of being so focused on what my mind is naturally focusing on. I hope that you are all doing incredibly well and that you're managing to get through everything. I know it's been an incredible, difficult, nearly year and a half for all of us. But here we are, we're starting to come out on the other side. So let's try to get back to some routines. At least I need to. I work every day on stuff. That's the funny part. I do. I'm nonstop. I have to be doing something with my hands, or I get rather nervous. So I just haven't been picking up the camera to film the phone. I don't have a camera. It would be nice. Then I would probably go do things like film some Randonautica, and I'm interested in it. I know there are some inherent dangers to it, though. But I think that's only if you're doing it consistently. Not the option for me. But I think it would get me, up and moving a little bit. So we'll see. Please, in the comment section, let me know what you guys are working on. No matter what craft it is, or art form that it is. Whether that be drawing, coloring, diamond painting, stitching. Tell me what you're doing. And don't just tell me what activity. Please tell me what project you're working on. I almost made that sound very non-specific, didn't I? Okay. Because I am so out of the loop. Well, this diamond is not perfect. So we will. That's the first crystal I've come across that had a problem. Wow. That's really good because I've laid a few thousand down in this one already. But yes, please let me know what you've been up to. What have I missed in the community? In all the communities. The stitching, the diamond painting, Please tell me what I've missed. I could use some happy news at the moment. And some catching up. As I'm sure a lot of us could use at the moment. Oops. I guess I need new wax on my multi-placer. Because it is being stubborn. That's okay though. Oops. You can hear, for those of you who like birds, you can hear all of the sparrows and I'm not hearing any pigeons or ravens at the moment, but you can hear all of our sparrows this morning. They sound pretty. The ravens almost scream at you, and a lot of people call them crows. Sometimes when I'm mad at them, I call them crows. And the pigeons are not cooling yet, which means they're probably still sleeping. But my little songbirds are over here. Usually they're on the other side of the neighborhood in the mornings. It's nice to have them in the 2 trees outside my window. I have one in my yard, and there's 1, 2, 3 in the next door neighbor's yard, but they're, 2 of them are rather small and young. So the birds really don't mess with those, I think, because the branches aren't strong enough to support them. But it appears to be a mesquite tree. My tree is older and very sturdy, and right now does not have a lot of leaves on it. It's trying to grow some back. I'm hoping that doesn't mean there's something wrong with it, because I missed part of the mouth. Because I like having a tree in the front yard, and I love being able to be up in the morning in my room and look out my window and have my coffee and see how pretty the morning is. My bedroom faces the north, so thankfully I do not get any direct sunlight. That's why I chose this bedroom in the house, because the last house I had a southern facing window and it was always too warm in my room for my taste, or too much sun to be able to see. So yeah, I wanted the northern facing for the better light for art and diamond painting and stitching. When we moved in here, I didn't even diamond paint yet. I wanted to, but I didn't have my first one yet. It was just a few weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later, that I got my first diamond painting. Yep. And that's where it began. So, I am only going to do this color today because I do have a lot of stitching to catch up on, and I am very closely following a trial on live on television, so I usually will not do that. I get very upset with certain things in courtrooms. When I was in high school, the U.S. Navy came to recruit me to go to law school and become a JAG lawyer. And I really wanted to do it, and my dad said, no way. No, no, no. She cannot deal with certain crimes, and believe me, she will not be willing to be a defense attorney. And I went, no, I won't. So he just, long story short, he felt it was safer if I stayed away from becoming a lawyer. But in my other degrees, I did take some pretty extensive law courses, not just the required. I hold a huge interest in criminal psychology and forensics, and a very, very big interest in criminal law. So I have a little bit of education in those areas, and years and years and years of self-education following, certain research on certain issues. But the case that I'm watching currently is very much something that I believe could potentially change the way things are done, at least in this nation, and hopefully worldwide, for the better, if we are lucky enough to get a proper prosecution and justice for the victim and their family. So we shall see. We will see. But in the meantime, that's what I've been doing. My brain has been on, okay, we need to watch this and see what happens. And that is what I've been doing every single day. And I'm sitting. You guys know how very, very calm and quiet I normally am. I'm just kind of not laid back, but I'm very accepting of everything and everyone. And this trial has me literally on the edge of my seat, and at some points screaming at my television because I get so annoyed by certain things. And by other things, I'm just shaking my head and wondering how something like that could actually have occurred. So, I'm sure that many of you will know what I'm talking about. I don't know your particular views in it. It doesn't... I don't think it's about our personal opinions and views. I just believe that for all victims, there needs to be justice. So, that's where that is. It doesn't matter who it is or what crime was committed against them, what atrocity. There has to be justice. Otherwise, what's the point of our legal system? So, I'm trying to keep myself from watching the trials that will be attached to this in August, but yeah, I'll probably be on them. And, of course, the Vallow Daybell case, when it goes live, I will probably be glued to the TV over that one, because just wow, you know, as a mom, I just can't even fathom all of it. So that will probably be where I'll be at that point. So unless you guys want play-by-plays of those trials, you know, I'll probably be not filming as much during those periods of time. We all have our quirks, all of us, and for me, that's one of them. It's something that, you know, I've fought for, I've marched for, I have always participated in trying to get equality and justice for everyone in this country in whatever way I could manage to contribute. And for the most part, where I believe that my best function is to be a support system for people who are much like myself and, you know, need a loving, calm place to be able to talk about how they feel, or know that it's all right to say, I'm not okay right now. A lot of channels and places on the internet, you can't do that. And that is part of the point of my channel, is that it is okay to say, I'm not okay right now on my channel. Absolutely. And I will do whatever I can to provide you, you know, at least some emotional support when possible, or help you to, you know, find whatever you need that I can assist with. And sometimes it's just knowing that somebody out there cares, and I do care. I truly do care about all of you and your safety, emotionally and physically. It matters to me. So, no matter what I'm doing as far as an activity on my channel, I will always stick to what my channel has always been and will always be, in the way that we are here to support one another, and I'm here to be supportive for you. So please don't hesitate. Most of you have the ability to find me on Facebook or Instagram. You can message me. It's okay. If I can't get back to you right away, please forgive me for that. When I find it, I will get back to you. I just don't go on my social media as often as I ought to. You know, it's right now, social media is just so volatile, and kind of keeping a distance from too much exposure to it. I don't even spend much time on YouTube because I'm just playing it safe, folks. I'm playing it safe. A friend of mine, when I used to get to talk to her every day, or pretty close to every day, would tell me that I need to make sure that I'm okay in order to be able to help anybody else be okay. And she's right. And right now I'm struggling. So I am, I think, being kind of smart about it and making sure that I take whatever time I need to deal with and heal from the things going on in my life right now. And, well, that's a lot. You know, it is. It's a lot for me to not break down in tears every day. So, and there are a lot of days I do. I can't stop them from coming no matter how hard I try. And I know that we all have those times in our lives. So, just please know that I am there. I have not stopped caring. I have not disappeared. I'm still here. I'm not out of reach. It's a little more difficult to reach me right now. So if you leave me a message and need to talk to me, okay. If I don't answer right away, please don't get upset or feel that I don't care, because I do. I have a lot of my own things going on right now. And like I said, my friend used to remind me frequently that I have to take care of myself too, because I was wearing myself out for a while. So, yeah, I'm getting better about it, I think. About finding balance. Ooh, here they go. Okay, sorry everybody, I had to pause you. My babies do not like the next door neighbor, and, well, truthfully, I agree. There they go. Okay, sorry, had to do it again. So, they don't like the neighbor, I agree with them, and it's one specific person in that house, and then people, this one car of people that come every time we turn around, and they park in front of my doggone house and driveway. And it's annoying. But they're very, very loud, and, you know, I've tried being nice to them and talking to them, you know, because that's me. I'm a very neighborly sort of person. That's just my nature. When I moved here, I reached out to, you know, my neighbors on 3 sides, because it's kind of hard to reach out to the one behind me. But that's okay. And every time I've tried to talk to them, they've been rather rude. So I'm just like, okay. So I leave them alone. They annoy me. And they annoy the babies too. And they annoy the crud out of Bonnie with their parking. So, yeah. But every time I turn around, they're doing something to set the babies off to bark. So normally when you guys have heard the babies barking, like they just go off the deep end, it's because of them. It's not the puppy's fault. They're trying to protect the mommy. And if I've learned anything in my lifetime, it is to protect the instinct of my canines. Because, well, truthfully, they're smarter than me. They know people's intentions much better than I probably do. I'm pretty good at reading people, usually. Although, you know, the last couple of years I've had some mishaps in that category too. That's okay though. I have narrowed down my circle significantly, and I feel pretty darn comfortable with the people that I feel safe talking to. So, but yeah, I did everything I could to be nice to these people, to be friendly with these people, everything short of taking them food. And they were here, they moved in just before we did, and yep, nothing. The people across the street are very, very sweet. They kind of keep to themselves, but they're just the nicest people. Nicest people. Absolutely adore them. They could probably do almost anything and it doesn't annoy me. They do. This past couple of weeks, they've had a lot of traffic that's in and out, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe they have family in town. It's the first time it's ever happened. Oh, by the way, my sweet Ashley sent me these. You see the puppies on my nails? I hope you do. I'm trying to get it where you do. Okay. Kitties, puppies. All these little creatures on my fingernails. And this gorgeous water blue background. Well, I went to do the puppies and a couple of cats because, you know, my girls have cats. So, I went to do that, and then I was like, oh my god, they're clear. So I had to quickly scramble and find something to put under it. And I decided on this pretty blue that, you know, is water, so it varies in color. It makes it harder to see the animals, but that's okay. I really like them. And what I've decided to do with the remaining ones is that every once in a while when I do my manicures, you will find a puppy or a kitty on a fingernail. 1 or 2 fingernails, that's it. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I had thought that they were white with the animals on them, and they're not. And the only white polish I have is for detail. And the problem is, when I polish my nails, inevitably, it goes wrong. I'm not good at sitting still for, you know, 30 to 45 minutes while they dry. I'm particularly bad at that. So, you've got to know your strengths and weaknesses, folks. And that's one of my weaknesses. I have a hard time not messing up my polish. Now, when I go to a salon and get a manicure, I don't mess them up because they put me under a gel light and I have to sit still, and it annoys me. I sit there just waiting and waiting and waiting. So what we would do when we were doing that is my son would get a pedicure while I got my manicure done, so that my manicure was done before his pedicure, and I had to sit still anyway. Didn't matter. I would have loved, for the first time in many, many, many years, to have gone and gotten a set of nails put on, because I'm having a problem with this fingernail. It's got a white stripe down the center, and I've never ever had that, and apparently it's some kind of nutritional deficiency. We're hoping that the vitamin D and cholesterol stuff will fix it as it grows out, but it wants to split right up the center of the nail. Hence why I have very, very, very short nails. I don't have my claws. I miss them. So, yeah, if I could, I would go and get my nails done for the first time in a great many years. Just because it drives me insane having short nails. I have trouble functioning. In fact, I have trouble picking up my medication without fingernails. You would think I would have adjusted by now, because it's been over a week. Nope. Still having trouble. And I know that my son will say that we just can't afford it right now. You know, it's really not safe for me to be out yet, but I have reached a point in my vaccinations that I should be approximately 85% resistant. So, you know, technically I could go. Just keep my mask on. Problem is, I'm kind of claustrophobic, so if I have to keep my mask on for too long, I feel like I cannot breathe. And that can set off asthma attacks. I would do it, though. Just have pretty long fingernails for you guys. I just would have had them put a base coat on them, and I would have come home and done my color streaks. I love the beautiful things that I get from Ashley. So, I believe it's Glitter and Shine with Ashley on Facebook. Ashley, if I am correct or wrong, either way, please place a link in the comments to your Facebook group for your color streets. Guys, she does some amazing sales. She gets a hold of sets that are discontinued, hard to find. She's really amazing at this. So please, 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 if you like having your nails look nice, please go check it out. The price is really, for how long they last, it's like beyond cheap. It's cheaper than what I would have with nail polish, believe me, because those I would have to paint every single week, and no. This, I get 2 to 4 weeks out of a manicure. It depends on how hard I am on my nails and how much my nails are growing at that moment. My hair and nails tend to grow very quickly when I'm on my fibro diet, so yeah. But this one I may change up rather quickly, even though I love it, because I'm trying to remember to practice self-care right now. In fact, my friend Bonnie is... When we were young, she used to give me so much crap about dyeing the white streak in my hair. I hated it. I colored it all the time to match my natural hair color because I thought it made me look old. It's a birthmark. But now I'm getting so much gray and more white from stress and age, and I just can't. I don't want to be on camera because I don't feel good about the way I look. And she popped up and surprised me for Easter with a hair color kit because she wants me to feel better. She wants me to practice self-care, and that's very much not like the Bonnie I grew up with, but that was a very, very sweet and considerate gift. And once I do that, I will probably stick my face back on camera for something, but I just need a day where my back isn't hurting and I can manage that. And that is not the last couple of days. I think it's sciatica. I'm not sure. It would be the first time I've had sciatica, but I am going to call my doctor and ask for some temporary assistance for it. I don't like taking pain medication. I was on it for many, many, many years. So nowadays I try to avoid it. I mean, I'm bad enough that I actually qualify for fentanyl patches on a regular basis, and I was on them for 2 years, but I don't want to be on them, is the thing. And it has nothing to do with the current trial. It's just me. You know, I don't want to have to go there until I have no other choice again. And at that time, I didn't have a choice. I could not move. So, hopefully, she can take care of things without another phone appointment. Because I see her, you know, on the 20th. She wants to discuss my blood test results. And I'm guessing she's going to send me downstairs for another blood panel right away to see if anything's helping. So we'll see. But I think, you know, I'm almost done with this color, and I don't want to keep you guys on forever. I was only planning to do a very short video, but there was more of this color than I thought. I would say, GBFKE, please, if you see this video, which I don't normally send them links to the WIP chats, the one thing I would say is that for these crystals, the size of the space on the canvas should really be just a tiny, tiny bit bigger. In a couple of spaces, a couple of areas, I'm having trouble getting them to stay down because they're very tight fitting. Very tight. And I'm very particular about my drill placement. Very particular. So, you know, it's not very many, but it is a couple of spots, and it's one particular color, so maybe it's just those drills are a little bit bigger. I don't know. We'll see at the end. But so far, it's absolutely cute. I love it. I'm enjoying working with the crystals. I always do. I think that they're so pretty, and for the longest time, I was like, no big deal. But no, I get the draw. After doing the roses, I just fell in love. But because that was my first full crystal and the quality was so incredible, it made me super picky about crystal quality. So, you know, there's that to it. So if I tell you that, you know, it's really good quality crystals, believe me, they are. These are incredibly good quality, especially for the price point. That shocked me. But yeah, please check them out, because if you want some snack size painting, and they do have some larger ones too, for a really, really reasonable price. You know, maybe you're like me, you're on a really tight budget. Please, go check them out. GBFKE. You can just Google it and find them. It's awesome. But I will finish this up really quick and grab myself another cup of coffee, and then I'm going to sit down to stitch and drive myself nuts with the trial today. They're on expert testimony, so that's where I'm ending up yelling at the TV. But anyway, I hope you all have an awesome, awesome week and weekend. I will try to do a video stitching, because I know a lot of you also stitch, and it is something that has been a part of my life since I was very, very, very young. So I definitely want to share that with those of you who are interested. If it is something you're interested in, please put it in the comments, let me know, and I will try to do a more extensive WIP chat for you. I do have another canvas kit that my daughter bought me to honor my beautiful babies in heaven, and when I go to do that, I will most definitely tell you the stories and reasoning behind that particular image, because it's going to throw you all off until you hear the story. You'll be like, how does that represent puppies? Well, yeah, it does my babies. Oh my goodness, it does my babies. These are flipping on me because of what I'm doing. So, my thoughts and prayers are honestly with you guys. I know it sounds like I'm just saying something, but no, I truly do pray that you and your families are all safe, and that your furry loved ones are safe as well, because we have such a limited time with them, and sometimes we don't realize just how limited that is. It just kind of hits suddenly. So, please enjoy your time with them and with your families, and know that I'm here if you need me. As much as I can be, I will be here. And you all take care of yourselves. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. I hope that you guys... there we go with the neighbor. Sorry about that. I hope that you guys haven't had a wonderful Easter. We had a nice quiet one, and thankfully. And I am going to let you go, because these are the last 4 drills that need to go on for this color. I will try to talk to you all again very, very soon. I love you. I am thinking of you. Please know I'm not going anywhere. You guys have a great week and weekend. Bye.